All right, we're going to start off by addressing one of our many detractors. If you don't know what that word means, it means that somebody out there of a nefarious nature is wanting to bring you into the limelight and make fun of you. So, okay, that's fair. No problem there. But we're going to rebut what they come at us with just to make a point. That's all, just to make a point. And my studio is coming along. It's a work in progress. Now, this is from Tyrone Kozlowski. Tyrone Kozlowski. Tyrone, you're not from Chicago, are you? Northern Indiana, maybe? Small chance? Just asking. You ever eat any pierogi? How about chornina? Anyway, Tyrone, you just, right off the bat, you dig in. Let's debate people if you think, is what you're saying. And for you, nah, I won't say that. Let's debate people if you think you know dispensationalism. Oh, maybe a couple of things. And then you later, another chop you got, let me guess, all of this dispensationalism came from Darby Schofield. LOL. Oh, I just love LOLs, especially when you put the emoji with the crying of laughter and the tears draining out of both eyes. Oh, I love that. Thanks, Tyrone. I'll just call you Ty. Either Ty or Ski. Ty Ski. I'm going to call you Ty Ski. Okay, I just coined a new name for you, Ty. Let all your friends and whoever you maybe mingle around with, and let them know you got a new name. There it is. Now, let's go into, we think we know a couple things about dispensationalism, and all of this dispensationalism came from Darby Schofield. LOL! Tysky, you don't know the half of it. So when you make a tongue-in-cheek remark, then you've got to go deeper than that if you're going to put a smiley face on there with tears coming out of the eyes. You got to. It's mandatory. Or put more smiley faces on. The choice is yours. Tysky, we've been at this a long time. It's going on about quarter of a century right now. This was printed on a Remington Raider, yours truly, 1/7/03, January 7th of 2003. And the person who did this whole schematic, guess who? Was me. I don't know if you can see that or not. It was me. I used to be one of you people. Tysky, I used to be one of your group. Yeah. I had it all figured out. Except for one pesky little thing. It just never fit. It just never fit. Look at this. World War III, Revelation 6:12. Out of this conflagration arises a new world order leader, Revelation 13. Holy Spirit is poured out, Joel 2:28, Acts 2:17. He, new world order leader, finally negotiates peace in the Middle East. Daniel 9:27. Sound familiar, Tysky? Huh? Does it sound familiar? The same putrid diatribe that you preach with your 7-year dispensational pre-trib rapture, cultism, and cultists, and heretics, by extension. I used to be one of you guys. Gotta take a sip of my Joe here. It's loaded. Good stuff. And again, that was almost a quarter of a century ago. Almost a quarter of a century ago. Now, but when you say your quip about Darby Schofield, well, you got to go a lot further than that. You probably don't even know your history, Ty Ski. You probably don't, because not only Darby Schofield, and by the way, Tysky, I have his original print books. Do you think I know dispensational now, Tysky? Synopsis of the books of the Bible. Let's just take one and see who wrote this book. Just for the heck of it. Let's see who wrote this book, Tysky. This is the books of the Bible, synopsis thereof, by J.N. Darby. Did you hear that, Tysky? Darby. Hopefully you can see that. I hope you can. I have the original books, Tysky. I have his original print books. It was a miracle. An international book dealer. They're originally printed in England, I believe, if I recall. But I had through a friend, a good friend of mine, an international book dealer. Yeah, London. Paternoster Square, 20 Paternoster Square, London is where they're printed. JND, John Nelson Darby, his original books from the it didn't even tell the date. I'm assuming around 1840. How do you like that? It's a small world, Tysky. Plus, we can't forget Clarence Larkin. I crossed out Truth and Put Lies, the greatest book on dispensational lies in the world. You cannot have... Tysky, I want you to listen up. You cannot have a cogent discussion on dispensationalism without interjecting the presence from a chronological format and manner of Clarence Larkin. You can't do it. He's like Arnold Palmer of golf. He took the garbage footnotes of C.I. Scofield, who was a bank forger as well, a convicted bank forger. C.I. Scofield, he turned his life around for the worse because his footnotes were based on this. So do we know dispensationalism? Maybe a little bit, maybe just a tad, unfortunately. So C.I. Scofield, he was around in the late 1800s and that sort of thing, early 1900s. And he wrote all his footnotes to the King James Bible. His footnotes are dispensationalism on steroids. You can easily rebut them. Easily. Maybe you should try it sometime, Tysky. Maybe you should. Oh, it gets worse. Then those seeds were germinated all the way up to and including the bringing out of modern day dispensationalism with none other than. Hold on. I got this other book. Don't go anywhere, especially you, Tysky. Stay where you're at. Light in the Present Darkness. And I thought, wow. And it's by a guy by the name of Kenneth S. Wust. W-U-E-S-T. Kenneth S. W-U-E-S-T. Okay? Let's show that one. Oh, and by the way, see all these markers? This guy, he wrote Clarence Larkin wrote the book on all the iconography. Okay? Do you know what that means? It's kind of a big word for you. I don't know if you know what that means, Tysky. But it's got all the graphs. And this is called iconography. All these graphs, okay? Read the whole thing. Now, in the back, Clarence Larkin was a nut. A certifiable nut. He's got this thing. He had this thing about Egyptology and the pyramid. And look what he dedicates. This is the last chapter in the book. Look what he dedicates it to. Can you read that? Hopefully you can. Hopefully you can read. And then he's got all these diagrams and all that sort of thing about Egypt and the pyramid and circles and squares and all kinds of stuff. And how it lines up with see that? The guy was a nut. He tried to factor all the pyramidology into prophecy, where the tunnels and all of that, how they arched at a certain angle and at different incremental levels, would be the rapture. Tysky. Let me know if you're still paying attention. I hope you are. And if you're not, get a cup of coffee. It's going to be good for you. But getting back to this book. Prophetic Light in the Present Darkness, Kenneth S. W-U-E-S-T. Now, there's this thing in the back that, I'll get there in a second. This book was dedicated and signed by one of its readers. Not dedicated, but it was signed. The person who read this book put their imprimatur of approval in this book on December 10, 1956. December 10, 1956. I was like a whopping 3 months old at that time. A long time ago. Do you want to know who signed this book that I picked up from this hole-in-the-wall antique shop in northern Indiana? Do you want to know who signed this book, Tysky? I'll show you. You're not going to believe this, but I'll show you. Do you see that signature. What does that signature say? I'll read it for you if you can't discern it. H. Lindsay. It does. Yeah. H. Lindsay. December 10, 1956. Now, let's look at the back of the book. It says, this book was read by the following, H. Lindsay, December 1956. Then he's got on the side, if you read this book, please sign your name and month and year. See that? Again, what are the chances of that? What are the chances of that? One in millions. So, do we know dispensationalism? The answer, Tysky, is unfortunately, yes, we do. It is a doctrine from the very pits of hell. We advise you, Tysky, to get out of it. Don't look back. Don't look back. Become a remnant Christian. Know where your salvation is. Because if you say you have Jesus, that's one thing. But if you don't have the right doctrinal truth, and you cling to your aspirations of wanting to see your physical Antichrist, you have, no pun intended, you have missed the ark of your salvation, the boat. And that boat and that ark of your salvation, you need to get into right now. So please, cry out to God. You're looking to get into a position to be supernaturally chosen, blessed, and favored as remnant Israel. Because if you don't, you're going to miss the boat. You're going to miss that ark, covenantal ark of protection. Especially since you claim that the one who confirmed the covenant of Daniel 9:24-27 is the Antichrist. That is not speaking the truth. Do you get the point why we're saying all this? The problem, again, with albeit nevertheless your smiley faces with the tears coming out the eyes and a big old smile and all that, is meaningless if you don't have the truth. We'll leave it there. If you're in it, please stay in it. Get into the fight. Know what you believe, and keep doing your research. I love you guys, and as always, talk soon.